It's so exciting to see Martin join us from Germany, Munich. So Martin, hello, and Hong Kong, midnight there, crazy. Like sometimes I have these sessions, especially with the group of people. Actually, now I had at 4 p.m. At 4 p.m. And there are about 20 people, and some of them are from the United States. Some of them are from Philippines. So it's totally crazy with these time zone differences. So yeah, thanks a lot for joining. I would like to focus on the special announcement, but like really why we are here. It's not about us as much as it is about the community and about tech recruitment in general. And I know some of you are really active on this front, like Stepan, like you were among the first ones connected, and you are building this tool, a CRM system, ATS. So, like many of us are trying to contribute to making tech recruitment better and more professional at the end of the day, right? So we've been like really reflecting a lot over the last few months. And, some of you know that I've started this journey after I left the company that I co-founded in Thailand 2 years ago, or 3 almost. Gosh, time flies like crazy. Yeah, hi Stepan. So like when I left the company, I was, before I was recruiting and hiring people in-house just because I didn't really have any counterpart, like any IT recruiter who would really be able to understand the IT roles and vacancies and be able to source on GitHub and wherever. So that's also what motivated me after I got back to Slovakia to start the Tech Recruitment Academy and the agency, which we call Gig Recruiters. And we are building up the whole ecosystem with different products and offering and services. Like Alex just mentioned, he's one of our customers for the recruitment campaigns. But then, I was thinking over the last few years, actually for 2 years, like what a crazy experience this has been. Because when I created some of these materials for my colleagues, like more companies also started using them, which has been quite rewarding, to create some of these courses and see people on the other side of the world using them to onboard their colleagues or new joiners. And then some more agencies started using these materials in even companies like Manpower, Experis, Accenture, which is sort of funny, right? If you think about it, because these companies present themselves as the experts in IT, outsourcing or whatnot. And then, some no-name company, some no-name, IT guy from Slovakia trains their teams in IT recruitment so they can actually do it. So like lots of ad hoc experiences and lots of ups and downs over the last 2 years. And then we started creating some ebooks because we've seen some people couldn't really join our live sessions, so they at least studied, and that all helped us to build up some knowledge base and some gain more experience. Which oh yeah, Helena, greetings to everyone. And then we were thinking, how else can we help the community and those people who join our sessions or training? So we started serving even through some additional sources, like through our Facebook group. We started organizing some sourcing webinars, and that's also very rewarding to see people who join some of my live streams and they benefit from me sourcing developers on LinkedIn or on GitHub, and they just look over my shoulder virtually. So these are some of the activities that we were just doing sort of like one by one, and then we reflected over the last few weeks and months on what can we do for the community of those of you who, and some of you may want to transition to IT recruitment. Like I know this has been the case of some of you, even Elena, right? You joined the last program in March with the goal to transition and become a tech recruiter. And actually now you even joined our vendors portal and you submitted like one of the best candidates. Elena, maybe you don't know, but I recorded a podcast episode about the candidate that you submitted. So it's really crazy. And just if you think about it, Elena, like you really, like from what I remember, like you didn't know much about IT. You had great recruitment and HR experience, but no like real understanding of the IT landscape. And then you learn about the programming languages and frameworks and tools and everything these professionals use. And then 2 weeks later, you signed up to our job portal and you submitted some of the best candidates. So that's so cool. It just reminds me, guys, if you haven't listened to the podcast, it's there, like the full story. So crazy, Elena. Positively crazy, obviously. So like this is really great, and that's why I'm saying that it's so exciting to see some of you transition from non-tech recruitment to IT recruitment, which eventually puts also more pressure to us who are already in IT recruitment, because the bar gets higher, right, as you learn how to do it properly. But that's how we in tech recruitment can actually be of more value to hiring managers and CTOs, right? So we have created something really cool, and I have it on this whiteboard. So I'll just bring over the whiteboard and I'll show you what have we prepared for those of you guys for the next, and not just today, obviously, but for the next years to come. And we have, like, I'm hiding it behind this paper, so you don't see it all right now. It's really crazy, right? So it's all on this whiteboard, and we call it. Do you want to see it even? Like, I should actually ask you. Would you guys like to see what we brainstormed and came up with, and how we put the puzzle together after we worked with all these companies and individual recruiters? Yes or no? Yeah. Cool. Yeah, Elena. Yeah, you learned so much. Yeah, definitely. Like, it's not rocket science at the end of the day, right? So, okay, guys. So I'll just reveal the first part. Okay, so it starts with, boom, digital support platform for international tech recruiters. And, it's really for international, because it reminds me how we recruited years ago. When I was in Bangkok, we were recruiting within the talent pool of Bangkok in Thailand. But these days, I have clients from United States. They're looking for people from Europe or from United States, right? They're looking for international talent pool. So COVID accelerated everything. So like those of you, like Elena, for example, you were in Russia, in Moscow, right? Maybe before COVID, focused on this area, maybe around Russia, or maybe the region, but not the whole world, right? But now we are looking for and sourcing talents internationally, which puts some additional pressure on us recruiters, because now we need to sort of balance the whole landscape. And Alex, you, for example, sourced for the most recent position just in a few cities, if I recall correctly, like around Germany in a few cities. But sooner or later, you may have a client who says like, hey, I don't care, bring me candidates from Romania, Croatia, because they are just cheaper than those in Berlin. And this comes with some additional requirements, obviously. You need to know who they are, how to connect with them, which, everything has some pros and cons at the end of the day. So that's why the digital support platform for tech recruiters to support people like you or Elena or Christina or Adelina, great to see you again, who are some of you already in the tech recruitment game, but you may not either have the right existing talent pool and you still need to build it up, or you still don't know how to get to international clients. So we can also support you with this area. And at the end of the day, it comes to the fact that we need somehow to attract those candidates. We need to get in front of them. We need to cut through the noise. And that's why it comes down to these three areas. So technology, so the IT knowledge, super important. Those of you who already have this, like Martin, you mentioned you are from Germany, right? Also, and I know you are from IT. So you tick this box, you could start screening technical candidates right away, right? But you may not have the marketing or sales skills. And what I observed in the last 2 years while working with all these recruiters and agencies is that they either have general recruitment skills or they learn IT skills, so the knowledge of frameworks and languages, but they still cannot really sell those opportunities. They cannot market them, and they sometimes just burn out because it's just so mundane to send messages on LinkedIn all the time. So that's why when we are recruiting for some of our international clients, we look at how can we market it to those candidates effectively? How can we sell the role to a candidate? So when I'm on a call with a candidate, I'm always thinking, what is the most efficient way to get the candidate excited? How to get him interested in this? What's the sweet spot for him? So, it's not just like, hey, we are looking for a backend developer, right? Like people don't care these days. They have so many opportunities. We need to find the sweet spot for them. Like say, hey, we have a really exciting startup in whatever area. They're looking for this and this person because they're, they got a new client and they are supposed to double the amount of data they process and they need someone to take care of it. Right? Like there needs to be some story. So this is also what we practice, like with Elena, for example, during the program 2-3 weeks ago. It was actually a month ago already. We practice how to actually find this angle to cut through the noise and get developers and IT professionals excited. So these are 3 skills that sooner or later you need to get better at, and then recruitment will be walk in the park. So that's why the digital support platform that is a platform or a launchpad for you as an international tech recruiter to hone these 3 skills. So understanding of the tech landscape, plus the marketing skills, so you can effectively spin off a campaign, like something we did for Alex just recently, like put one landing page with another, create some funnel, spend $1,000, and then cash some decent commission for recruiting this candidate on an international level. Okay, so when it comes down to some details, we have it right here below, and probably I'll just take this camera. That's the advantage of not having it on a smartphone. So maybe you will see it like this. So when it comes down to the skills that we really need to practice and make sure over time that you get better is the analysis of the job requirement, the job description. Like I cannot state how important this is because I've seen, and we discuss it during most of the programs and most of the sessions, like some of the IT positions are just, sometimes it's super confusing. Sometimes it is just doesn't make sense because HR manager somehow blends 2 together, or they just copy paste, and it just doesn't make much sense. So we need to actually identify who are we looking for. And I have realized that it's really difficult for people who have never worked in IT. And it was also inefficient just to go through 50 of them. So what we are doing now is every 2 weeks, we are going to just look at one, for example, backend developer, front-end developer, software architect, data engineer, data scientist. And over time, you will get this expertise in analyzing these job requirements. And then screening candidates, super important skill, which also we trained with another group of 20 people earlier today, like how to screen candidates, how to identify the core skill and identify if they are a good match to their JDs and CVs. So that's why we'll be organizing more and more of these mentoring calls to help you guys identify who is a good match, because then you just learn to speak tech with IT professionals and everything is easier. You will be able to get on a call with them. You will be able to present the opportunity in a compelling manner. And you will be able, for example, to source on GitHub, which is also what we've been doing for one of our clients. They specifically wanted us to look for open source contributors, like really some senior guys, and we just source them on GitHub because that's where they are, right? Open source contributors. And it's not rocket science at the end of the day. So we will also teach you how you can source on GitHub. And at some point, maybe you can source for our clients also on GitHub. And you will get access to our job portal like Elena, because that's the sweet spot with Elena, for example. She has I assume, a good job, or great or awesome or perfect job, right, Elena? And she may want to spend 2 hours or 4 hours a week, just submit a few CVs for our clients, and she can get commission right away. So that's the sweet spot that I would like more of you to actually find, especially given the fact that you have your own talent pools in different countries. So that's how we can also support you on this recruitment journey. And how we do it? Well, we do it simply in these steps. You can see we have produced lots of video courses, but at the end of the day, you don't want to go through too many courses at once, right? So that's why it will be a good idea to merge it with those live sessions that we are launching. And we are launching sourcing webinars, which is really cool because I did it in the past, several ones, and it's always great fun to look for a few, backend developers, front-end developers, data engineers, system architects, and you can just look over my shoulder and see how I would find these professionals. You can join the sourcing webinars, you can submit your positions, and we can look for your people. You would also get access to our Zoom sessions, but not like this one, because this is a webinar where I talk and you listen, but those more engaging ones, like we usually do when we have a chance to interact and you can just unmute and talk, and it's really engaging. And what actually is the huge advantage of those live sessions is that we would look at your job requirements, I would comment on it. And we had just one session, for example, yesterday with a group of 20 recruiters, and the recruiter just shared his screen with the job requirement, and we were looking at it. For him, it was super obvious, like, hey, this is the JD. But when we looked at it through different lenses, we were like, hey, you know what, like, the technical stack is actually not clear. And by the way, the seniority is not clear up front. And by the way, you may also want to include this and that. So in 15 minutes, we adjusted and improved significantly, all that with the goal to improve the conversion and to help you perform well as the international tech recruitment expert. Okay, so those live sessions will happen on Friday at 2 p.m. Central European time, and the sourcing webinars on Friday also in the late afternoon. But you can also watch it from a replay if you prefer. Okay, so we have also been building the community of international tech recruiters. So you will also get access to our members area. So all this with the goal to help you guys become international tech recruiters. And for some of you, it may not be a full-time job. It doesn't have to be. Like, I'm also not a full-time tech recruiter. Some of you, like Martin, for example, you may have a great job, but you may see some opportunities. So we will show you how you can build up your own talent pool, what roles to focus on, which is, by the way, something we talked just earlier today during the program. We spoke about which roles to focus on, where is most potential, how to build up the talent pool, and then we can allow you to access our talent portal, where you can start submitting candidates for our international clients. So this is the sweet spot where you can get commission for some of the relationships you've been building for the last few years. Okay, so if you go to, and actually, by the way, we call it digital support platform for tech recruiters, but in fact, it's the Tech Recruitment Academy that we are now recreating from scratch, because we had lots of these materials that we've been using for the last 2 years, like the video courses or the worksheets or the mind maps and everything, right? Like I have not recreated this from scratch, but we adjusted the workflow. We have rearranged the academy. We have recreated some of the materials to match the workflow a little better based on our experience working and training with agencies. And by the way, this is the same content that other agencies are asking me to share to their teams. So just in June, I'll be, for example, training in another company, and they already booked me for like third time. And now it's another 30 recruiters joining them. Just think how crazy this is, right? Like this tech industry is so booming. In just this one company, in the course of 2 months or 3 months, they hire 30 freshers, 30 graduates, and they want to make them tech recruiters. So the same materials, the same content, the same strategies as those companies are paying for pretty much the same content, right? But what we aim to do or to create is this community of international tech recruiters, so we can also help the clients, the CTOs get results faster through the job portal. Okay, so you can, if you want, like that's obviously optional, but you can join the digital support platform. You can get access to all these materials or some of them. You can join the Zoom calls if you'd like, and you can start already building up your own talent pool. So there are 2 options how to actually join effectively this new digital support platform. So I have these 2 options here. This is printed out from the website. So if it looks like a website, well, then it is a website, as you can see. The standard and the premium are 2 options. In the standard, you can join for only $49, and this is like crazy cheap given the amount of value and the materials you get and the strategies and everything. But it is with the goal to like really support you. Like that's why the title or the name of it is digital support platform, right? And you would get access to the member-only mentoring Zoom calls, also the selected video courses. So in this case, we would not overwhelm you with all those materials, but you would get, say, this 1 book per month. So this is 1 book. Next month, you would get another ebook, which could be totally enough, right? Like still it's 1 ebook for you to read. Then you would get another, mind maps booklet, and then you get another one. Okay, so we have quite a lot of materials created for the last 2 years. So every month you will get another course or another ebook. If you would like to get more result and faster, there is the premium option. So you would get access to not just the regular course, but also the tech recruitment program, which costs 200 euros and is the one that, for example, Elena joined in March, and now we have another group in May, and another group will be in June. So you will get VIP ticket. You would also get unlimited access to the itv Recruiter Toolkit, which is probably the most comprehensive platform focused on tech recruitment with over 300 video lessons. You would get access to all our ebooks, onboarding bundle and everything. So this is the most exhaustive offer that we actually have ever had, because we have really this program, plus all the books, plus printed materials, plus there is one special gift. Like you could also get a t-shirt such as this one, tech recruitment on fire. So those of you who become members by Sunday, you would also get this t-shirt, and we have a slightly different version for ladies. So that's also as a little bonus for joining us by Sunday. Okay, so 2 options, standard and premium. And in fact, we had some academy already 2 years ago, and we were obviously selling these courses already some time ago. So to a large extent, the courses remained, just the structure and the methodology has been improved to deliver better results for you and to support you more effectively. Okay, so it's more hands-on. It's more about regular calls that will every 2 weeks get you to the next level, instead of just overwhelming you with lots of content that you don't know what to do with. Okay. So I would love to see you guys inside our members area and to join those calls, so we can really brainstorm how you can thrive in this international tech recruitment space, how you can build up your own talent pool, how you can screen candidates effectively, For example, what tools do we use? How do we source candidates, junior or senior on GitHub? So there are some strategies, and you know that IT recruitment could be really lucrative and fun. You know, for some it is super boring and mundane because they probably don't understand it, and that's why it's boring. But if you really understand it, and if you learn some of these marketing and sales approaches, well, then it's great fun, right? And it's not just me being excited, but I guess Elena can also confirm that after she learned some of these strategies, then it's just so much easier. If you know how to source candidates, how to screen them, how to assess them technically, how to build up the talent pool over time, how to actually get some real clients through our job portal. So yeah, like this is the announcement I wanted to make. We are launching this new digital support platform for international, this is super important keyword, international tech recruiters for only $49 per month. This is as low as it can get. And now we have this special offer where this is already including VAT, and we will change this in next month, so it will be excluding. But now, since you are literally, you know, today the first ones to know about this, this is including the VAT and taxes and everything. Plus, you get also this T-shirt just for joining us and becoming the cool tech recruiter. And by the way, I also have this hat. Can you see it? You know, like who is crazy about tech recruitment here, right? It's probably me, and hopefully some of you guys also. So I see there are some hands up. So let me just check. Oh yeah, Alex. Okay, so if you'd like to say something, yes, probably. Hopefully some of you guys also. So I see there are some. Hold a sec. Okay, Alex, did you want to say something?
No, I'm just listening. It's very.
Okay. Because your hand was up, so but it was probably
no.
It's probably from before. Okay. Cool. Yeah. So yeah, like we've been creating some of these materials for the last 2 years or so. Like some of these mind maps I have created for myself just because I don't remember all the terminology and the frameworks and languages, but then more people started using them, which is really cool. And now, you know, we have all these materials, so why not, you know, to share it with you guys who are independent recruiters, freelancers. We don't have to just, you know, use it in the corporate training space. Like some of the companies that have been using it include Manpower, Experis, Reed, Adecco, Accenture, as I mentioned, or Additive Staffing, like some like really international agencies, like well known. But now you can get pretty much the same materials for a fraction of the price, and we can start meeting on a regular basis to talk about how to actually get most out of all those opportunities. That's how we started this chat with Alex before all of you connected. We started chatting and talking about how to actually get most or take advantage of all these opportunities, which you know, there are so many of them. So yeah, like I would say the Zoom bi-weekly calls are like super helpful based on what I've seen on the previous calls with the groups of 20 recruiters who go through the program. So so this has been like very hands-on, and it's usually good, especially if you are like alone, working alone as a recruiter, and you don't really have anyone to talk to when it comes to getting feedback or thinking of continuous improvement. So these regular Zoom calls could be also our launchpad for this discussion and the platform for discussion. Cool. So do you guys have any questions? If yes, feel free to ask in questions. Otherwise, what I will do, I'll just type a link in chat. So you can click the link, and if you are interested, you can become members right away, or you can leave it for tomorrow. But if you do it in the next few days, you will get this super awesome t-shirt that will show everyone everyone who you meet, I wanted to say, but we don't meet with anyone probably these days. Well, in Slovakia, the restrictions are easing out slowly, but hopefully during the summer we will get back to normal to some extent. Yeah, Thomas, Tarun, Sofian, Simon, Prashant, if you guys have any questions, Olga JavaScript Calco. Wow, that's super cool nickname. Olga JavaScript Calco. Maria, super cool. Olga JavaScript Calco. Elena, Adam, Adelina. So it's really cool to see some of you guys here again after some of those webinars that we had before, and you see that we are more and more active in the community and trying to help also you out while building our agency and our other streams at the same time, which also allows you to tap on the clients that we work with. So this is also a way how you can, from the comfort of your home, you can just start working for this. And thanks for Martin for letting me know, because I send it to panelists, and I don't know why by default Zoom suggests I should only send to panelists, while they know that I'm the only panelist here and host and panelist at the same time. Probably some improvement right there for Zoom, like user experience, but thanks for the proactivity. So yeah, like this is also one of the ways for us to get back to the community and see how we can help with some of the materials we had. At the same time, some of the courses are out there. So even if you decide not to join right away, you can still get and take advantage of some of the courses. Speaking of sourcing on GitHub, just take into consideration that, for example, the course sourcing on GitHub itself costs 69 euros, while this subscription membership costs only 49. And you will get the sourcing on GitHub as a part of the subscription. So like sometimes it's better to become a member than to purchase these individually, because you would have to purchase these for 20 euros, right? So it would add up, and it will be probably a better idea to become a member right away and join these calls on top of getting these materials. And there was, by the way, something really interesting. Someone said the other day, it was actually a potential client. She was, we had a call, and she mentioned that, by the way, she's a owner of an agency, and she mentioned it is so hard to get senior tech recruiters to join her team that she can actually only hire juniors, and then she cannot actually train them. So she's hiring me to train the IT recruiters. But she said something really interesting. She said that there are very, very few people who actually understand the IT and are in recruitment, because it's not very common career path. Usually those who understand IT, they stay in IT, but not very few people actually are in IT and recruitment. But if you guys join the digital support platform for international tech recruitment, you have the unique advantage of like really being in touch with someone who has been for 15 years in IT and for the last 3 years in recruitment, international tech recruitment, which is super exciting, right? Like who else to learn and join if not this digital tech recruitment academy, which is just sort of a little observation after the sales call we had with this potential client so far. But I'm sure she will, take the proposal. And Patricia asks, is there a way to reserve spot for the June training? I only see May schedule on the website. If you actually just fill in the form, the first form, you will get a notification. We haven't updated the one yet, but if you just submit the first, you don't have to pay. The payment is probably disabled by now, but if you just fill in the contact form on the website, you will get a notification when the next one launches. And just keep in mind that the last one sold out several days before we launched it. So we limited to 20 people. So it's quite engaging and interactive. And yeah, just keep it in mind, like don't postpone for too long because the seats will sell out again. How would it be beneficial for epic market like Singapore, Malaysia? Yeah, that's a great question. And like, for example, in the previous group in March, there was one recruiter from Singapore. Again, like super crazy. There was one person from Canada, several people from Europe, and a few people from Singapore, Philippines. So again, like some people had 7 a.m., other people had 11 p.m. And she was one of them from Singapore. Her name was Sansari, and she joined because she wanted to get a job, but she didn't really know anything about IT recruitment. And then after she went through the program, she obviously learned about the IT terminology, IT roles, frameworks, languages, IT sourcing, IT screening. And then she wrote me a message like 2 weeks after the program ended. She was like, Michael, that's so cool. Like, I got a great job offer. I was interviewed to several other, which was not possible before. And I was just able to talk about technology. Like what I observed is that IT is the same no matter where you are. Developers use the same languages, the same frameworks, the same tools. They use, the same framework like React, Angular. It's just the same whether they are in India or Australia or Canada or Malaysia. And the sourcing strategy is usually also the same. It's either LinkedIn or GitHub or Facebook campaigns or LinkedIn campaigns, paid campaigns. So you don't have too many options, which is also good for us recruiters because unless you go for some local meetups, it's pretty much the same whether you are in Malaysia or Canada. And what probably changes is some cultural differences, like how to reach out to people. Maybe in Russia, they don't use LinkedIn as much as we are used to here in Europe or in Singapore. But otherwise, it's pretty much the same. Like these concepts could be applied from one country to another, which is also what Sansari was so excited about. And she recorded also a video that actually you can see on the website. So you can just go to techrecruitmentprogram.com and you can scroll down and look for Sansari. And she said something really cool about the program. So she's from Singapore. But even from Malaysia, like we had lots of people from different countries. And differences in culture, definitely, but that's up to you, right? Like we will not tell you what exactly to send to candidates. We will probably tell you these marketing principles, how to build up the value, how to get them excited, but you will use the language that is appropriate in your country. Like in some countries, they use more formal language. In other countries, they are more casual. And you know best, right? Like I will not dictate, obviously, what to write in Malaysia. But it's very likely you would be using LinkedIn anyway. You could use GitHub. You could use some other tools, job boards. It's just about what to write on the job board, how to make sure that the JD stands out, because also developers in Malaysia, they now receive lots of job offers from other countries, not just Singapore, but also from Europe, right? Because they are cheaper than here in Europe. So it's interesting how the market changes. And I was just interviewing some candidates from Romania, for example. And Romania is the cheapest country, probably like one of the cheapest countries here in Europe. And now this developer was asking for $100,000. And I'm like, what? 100,000? And he was like, yeah, I just got an offer, for 100,000. So if you want me to change, then it's at least $100,000. And I'm like, gosh, that's crazy, right? But, like he's working for some companies, like Western Europe companies or I was offering him to work for a San Francisco-based company. So, for them in San Francisco, it's cheaper anyway to get someone in Romania. Still, even for 100,000, it still makes sense for them. They are like, oh my God, it's just 100,000 per year. And those guys in Romania, for example, they are like, oh my God, like I've never earned so much in 5 years. So now they just triple their salaries in a year, which is really crazy. And we should just keep it in mind when expanding our talent pools to get more people from these countries, even maybe countries like, I don't know, Malaysia, Philippines, of course, but it also depends on the cultural differences. So yeah, super exciting space we are at. So hopefully you guys are also excited about tech recruitment as I am. So if you guys have any question, feel free to ask. Otherwise, maybe we could wrap it up. What do you guys think? So what you could do, you can always just go to the techrecruitmentprogram.com, and obviously I'll be sending some follow-up with this link. So you can hop on it, you can join this digital support platform, so we can support you on your journey to becoming an international tech recruiter, because the market is changing, the requirements change, the pressure is there. More and more people are transitioning from non-tech recruitment to IT recruitment, just because it is more lucrative. So having said that, there are still lots of opportunities. So if we can also help you monetize some of them, and at the same time, maybe you will also join our job portal so we can work on the same requirements, that will be probably the sweet spot, right? But we will see. We can take it step by step, and we will see where this brings us, right? So seems like there are no questions, nothing in the Q&A, nothing in chat. So why don't we wrap it up? Let's get a beer, those of you who already are past 5 p.m. Those of you who are from United States, which I guess no one is, we can we can have the beer. No? And some of you was from India or Singapore, even Romania, Munich. Cool. All right. So thanks, guys, for coming. I hope you are equally excited about the ecosystem we are building, the tech recruitment agency and the tech recruitment academy, and the programs and materials. Like, there is a huge opportunity when it comes to tech recruitment and being more helpful to CTOs and hiring managers. So let's do a better job together, and let's earn some more money as tech recruiters. So if we can help you, I'll be glad. Thanks, Thomas. Have a nice evening. Have a nice afternoon. Have a wonderful day, and we will keep in touch.